A time traveler agent is seen heading to a hallway. The agent walks down the staircase searching for a bomb. He opens a metal case to place the bomb. The agent attempts to deactivate the bomb. Unbeknownst to him, there is another person in the room, and shoots him. He attempts to disarm the bomb. He fails, and it explodes in his face, burning his skin. He attempts to crawl to the time machine, which is the violin case. A different man appears from the shadows, and helps the agent reach the violin. The agent successfully arrives in his own timeline. Two agents award him for his bravery during his last mission. The agents tell him to get healthy soon, so he can go for another mission. The agent has been hunting a terrorist known as the Fizzle Bomber. The doctor informs the agent his face has healed, but it will take time for a new facial skin to grow. Approximately 7 years pass. The agents inform him to remember the time travel regulations, and if he does not follow the time travel rules, he will be killed. In an unknown city, while the agent is working as a bartender, a customer enters the bar and orders a drink. The customer explains to the bartender he was born a female. The bartender acts surprised. The customer continues the story. In 1945, a man leaves a young baby Jane in the orphanage. Jane grows up interested in science and space exploration. Due to Jane's high grades, she is interviewed by Mr. Robertson, who explains about the first female astronaut program. The program is physically and mentally difficult. However, Jane passes every test with high scores. One day, Jane, another applicant are fighting, and Jane is kicked out of the program. With no other means to make money, Jane works as a housekeeper. Jane meets a man, and feels a strong connection with him. Jane and the man are intimate, and Jane becomes pregnant. However, the man left Jane, and she never saw him again. At hospital, Jane gives birth to a girl. The doctor tells Jane they discovered Jane is both a man and woman, and can reproduce in both ways. During the birth, there was a complication, and Jane's female reproductive organs were removed. Jane is distraught, but decides to live as a man, and changes her name to John. While at the hospital, a stranger is seen kidnapping Jane's baby. Jane's baby is never found. Back at the bar, the bartender tells John there is a way he can kill the man who got her pregnant, and destroyed his life. The bartender explains to John that he is a time traveler, and the man who got her pregnant is the terrorist he has been looking for. The agent uses the time machine when Jane and the stranger met while she was in the park. The agent gives John a gun, so he can shoot the man who caused him so much pain. John is seen searching for the man, but accidentally runs into Jane. John suddenly realizes the time paradox. While John is speaking with Jane, the agent uses his time machine to 1970, as seen in the beginning of the story. The agent witnesses the same event from a different perspective, and realizes he was the unknown man who helped himself to the time machine. After the explosion, the agent picks up part of the blown-up bomb material, and returns to Mr. Robertson. Meanwhile, in 1963, Jane and John are falling in love, and things move forward as in the original timeline. Mr. Robertson is explaining to the agent why he is so important to the agency, and why he is the only person who could have accomplished the mission. The predestination paradox is the agent. The scene shows, the agent is the unknown person who stole Jane's baby at the hospital, and drops the baby off at the orphanage. The agent returns to 1963, and witnesses John and Jane together. John sees the agent, and tells Jane to wait. John, realizing the time paradox, is angry at the agent, points his gun towards the agent. The agent knows the sad truth, and explains to John there was no other choice. John tells the agent he truly loves Jane. The agent explains why Jane has to follow the timeline, since it is predestined. John sees Jane for the last time, and accepts his destiny. The agent uses the time machine, and takes John to the time traveler's headquarters. The agent is still concerned about the Fizzle Bomber, and Mr. Robertson gives the agent one last clue about the Fizzle Bomber. before the agent leaves for a final time. He records a message to John. The agent then arrives in New York City, 1975, just before the Fizzle bomber attacks again. As the agent relaxes with a drink, his time machine is supposed to automatically stop working. But the time machine still works. The agent, using Mr. Robertson's clue about the Fizzle bomber, heads towards a laundromat. The agent sees an old man, which is himself. The Fizzle bomber explains to the agent how he has saved millions of people by killing hundreds. The agent is disgusted with himself, and tells the bomber he will never be like him. The Fizzle bomber explains to the agent, this is all predestined, and there is no escaping his fate. The scene shows all characters who the same person in different times, and that is why the agent's time machine didn't stop working because of the predestination paradox.